The beginning of this school year has been a little rough. Let's talk. Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. My name is Erin. I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. We are in our 9th year of homeschooling. Traditionally, I've kind of followed like a 6 weeks on, 1 week off school schedule, but this year has been really out of whack. And I actually just sat down to look at the calendar to kind of figure out how long we've been doing school and figure out when our next break is coming up. And I realized that we are already 10 or 11 weeks into our homeschool year, which is crazy. That means we're already like just over a quarter done. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on how things are going so far this year. And it's not been super pretty, let me tell you. This year we started off on kind of a rocky start. I kind of decided like a week before we started our school year what curriculum we were actually going to be using, which made it a little bit hard to get the ball rolling because when we actually had our first day of school, I still didn't have all of our resources for us. So we started off a little bumpy. That kind of made us ease into our homeschool year, which I'm not going to lie, I didn't hate that aspect of it. It is kind of nice to ease into the year and not go full speed ahead right from the very beginning, just because we've taken so much time over the summer to relax and enjoy time together. And it felt nice to start a little bit slower, just focusing on like language arts and math kind of for the first beginning part of our school year. 2 weeks into our school year, our family took a 4-day vacation over to the Oregon coast. And I still counted those as school days because we brought our math along with us and books for reading, and we just kind of did stuff together there and enjoyed life together on the beach, which was amazing. But then we got back to school and we kind of hit the ground running at that point. I had all of my resources. I don't think I've even done a video about what I chose for this school year. I've been eyeing this curriculum for several years off and on. We chose to go with A Gentle Feast this year, which is a Charlotte Mason homeschool curriculum that covers all of the subjects except for math. And so I love that idea of having all of the pieces all put together for me, but following a Charlotte Mason method, which was kind of why I didn't get it to begin with, because I knew I wanted to do Charlotte Mason, but I also don't really like being tied down to any one thing. I feel like there's always a lot of bits and pieces that we don't end up using. So I didn't really want to initially spend the money on something that was going to have all that stuff, but still be doing a lot of our own things as well. But with the idea of kind of switching over to that Charlotte Mason method, I was a little bit unsure of myself as far as what we should actually be doing in a given day. And so I kind of made that decision at the last minute to buy the curriculum that would have all of the plans kind of laid out for me, at least for this year, and trying to get started following that method a little bit more, maybe not necessarily for every single subject, but for a lot of things. And so I wanted that kind of guideline to help me out to make sure that I was doing all the things that I felt like I should be doing. One of the things that I love about Gentle Feast is that there's 4 different cycles that you go through, but each cycle has the plans for every year from kindergarten up through high school. And you just choose the form or the, kind of level that you are doing for each of your kids. And then it has all the lesson plans laid out for each of those different age groups that you're working with. So we actually then have in our homeschool, we have my daughter's 6, so she's in Form 1, and then my 4th grader and 6th grader are both then in Form 2, and my 8th grader is technically then Form 3, but he is doing Form 4 for language arts and some of his other stuff, I think. So it's been interesting trying to weave all of those pieces together, but I really liked the idea of being able to be studying the same topic all together on different levels with our family. So that's why I chose that particular one. And that's been working out really well, although I haven't been able to get to all of the subjects in there for sure. And I don't think we'll ever be able to get to all of the subjects that are in there. Just trying to figure out how to fit all those pieces in while I have 4 different kids that I'm working with and still have to do some things with individually. So that's been a bit of a challenge trying to get into our groove. And even though we're like 11 weeks into our homeschool year, I still don't feel like we've fully gotten into our groove yet. And that's partially because this year, seasonally with the weather, Our harvest season was like 3 weeks late because we had a late frost this spring, which made the production in our orchard start a little bit later. So now it's harvest time, and it has been chaos trying to harvest all of the fruit in the orchard and process it and figure out how to preserve it and to give things away to people because we just have more than we can handle. I'm so sick of apples, let me tell you. Such an incredible blessing to have, but it is a lot of work. So we've actually had the last several weeks where we have been doing school light. We've really just been focusing on our language arts and math again for a couple of weeks while we are out actively picking fruit in the orchard, bringing it in, washing it up, dehydrating, making applesauce, and all of the things. And so that has also kind of provided a little bit of a challenge to work around. But that is one of the incredible blessings with homeschooling, is that we can really make our homeschool and our learning time fit into what is going on in our life. We don't have to stop everything in order to focus on school. We can kind of work learning time into when we have downtime, which has been awesome. And then looking at it from the perspective of our kids are learning some of those life skills. They're learning how to know when fruit is ripe on the tree and when to pick it, how to carefully handle it so it doesn't get damaged, how to preserve the fruit, and all of those things. So while we have not had a ton of book work necessarily over the last few weeks, my kids have been doing a lot more activities on their own. They've been really into painting a lot the last few days, and that's been fun to see. We also have a subscription to Tinker Crate from Kiwi Crate, and the boys have really enjoyed putting those together. We've been baking a lot and just doing a lot of different kind of hands-on projects. My boys have been working a lot outside and helping clean up the yard and chopping firewood. And so while we haven't been as focused on a lot of our book work, we still have been active in doing a lot of things that I feel like are valuable life skills and just different fun supplemental type things that a lot of times we don't end up working into our normal school schedule because we're so focused on getting all that book work done. So while it's been a little bit of a challenge and a little bit frustrating trying to get into our routine and all of those kind of things, I do see the benefits and can choose to focus on the positive things that they have been able to focus on. I did purchase the Gentle Feast language arts curriculum. So there's like the core cycle that has all of the subjects, and then she also has a language arts package that you can add on to that. And I wanted to try the Charlotte Mason method for language arts too and just kind of see how that worked. And I have felt that that is not quite providing as much as I really wanted it to. And so I have gone back to supplementing for my son who has dyslexia. We're going back to all about spelling and have been working through that again with him, in addition to what we're doing with the Gentle Feast language arts. And then I'm also having them do a little bit more writing as well to kind of go along with what they're learning. And I put together binders for them that so far we've only done 3 weeks using this binder system, and it has worked really well. But then I've been so busy that I haven't been able to keep up on it for the last few weeks while we've been in harvest. So next week, I'm hoping to get started with that again. I know that that is a really valuable resource, and I think it's really helpful for our kids to have that plan laid out, to know exactly what they need to do each week and each day so they can stay a little bit more self-motivated. We are using teaching textbooks again for math this year. That has definitely been the best fit for our family out of different things that we have tried, and that is going well. Our kids are able to mostly do that on their own and then just kind of ask me if they have gotten some of their problems wrong and need a second try on it. Then I will help them to make sure that they are understanding the concept so that they can move forward in their math. So math is going well. For my first grader, we are using The Good and the Beautiful's Math 1 for her math, and I have really been enjoying that so far. I think it's really well laid out. It's beautiful. It's been fun for her. It has a lot of different activities and kind of a multisensory approach, which has worked out really well for her so far. She's also doing language arts with a Gentle Feast, but we're using the 100 Gentle Lessons in Sight and Sound because she's still kind of early on in her reading. We're still working through some of that. She just wasn't quite ready for it yet last year in kindergarten. And so now she's ready and she's starting to pick up things a little bit better. I'm certainly one that's a huge proponent of not forcing that kind of stuff too soon. I feel like that can be more of a detriment and end up with damage in your relationship and just frustration on the part of both of you if you force things too soon, especially when it comes to reading or things like that. So this year, now that she's a little bit more ready and a little bit more capable, we have been able to move forward a little bit more with that. And she's getting more and more excited about learning to read, which is really fun to see. So as far as our daily routine goes, we're still kind of working out the hiccups there as well, trying to get into that groove because we haven't gone all in with all of our subjects yet. It's kind of been a little bit piecemeal. I feel like we've been just kind of trying to figure it out. So it's been a little bit disorganized, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully next week really hitting the ground running finally and picking up with what I hope to be a better routine, some more kind of structure to our day to be able to get through all of our stuff. One of my big focuses this year, I really want to focus on attentiveness and diligence with our kids to really make sure that they are doing all of the things that they need to be doing and focusing on it and doing their schoolwork before they go off to play and all of those kind of things, working in that personal responsibility. Our normal kind of schedule is that we have 4 days, Monday through Thursday, where we kind of do most of our normal school activities. And then Friday is a little bit different where we don't necessarily have like a math lesson and all the things, but I will have that time be a day where I can help the kids get caught up and make sure they're up to date with all of their math and answer questions and all of those kind of things. And then that's the day where I will have my 4th grader do a nice written narration from something that he has learned either in science or history for that week. So he will type up something or handwrite something and illustrate a picture that goes along with it to kind of add in a little bit more writing practice. And then my oldest 2 boys have been doing a speech and debate class that is with a group of other homeschoolers. And so they have been spending a decent amount of time each week, or at least every other week, really working on the speech that they're having to give in class. So that has kind of taken the place of some of that writing component to our language arts that we've been supplementing that in and kind of including that as part of how our language arts is going. And that's going really well. I'm excited that they're doing that class, and I think they're mostly enjoying it. They're learning a lot for sure, and it's giving them a lot of in-class experience, some time to be around peers and to practice presenting in front of a group of people, which I think is tremendously valuable. So I'm really happy that they are doing that class. And one of the cool things that we have started doing lately is in the evenings, my husband has taken up reading a section out of the Bible. We started going through the book of Matthew together as a family after dinner, and he reads through a section, and then we've been having discussion about it. And it's been incredible hearing some of the conversations that have come out of that time together focused on the Bible and the Lord as a family. It's been incredible, and I'm super excited that has morphed into something that has become part of our normal routine over the last week or 2. And I'm looking forward to that continuing and just growing in that relationship with the Lord, with our family all together. I'm curious how your homeschool year is going for you. Please drop a comment below. I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button below, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.